And guys, these knives do come sharp. This came fairly sharp. Like I said, the edge is a little thick. I'm going to end up taking it down, but it is sharp. For woodwork, like I'm going to thin the edge out a little bit, but as you can see, the consistency of the grinds that they do and the sharpness, very good. Very good. And there's no problem in getting at some wood. Okay. And it's got a little heftiness to it, so for a little light chopping, yeah, you can do it. Hey guys, Common Sense Outdoorsman. I apologize for being gone for a while. Some of you may know or realize my wife and I, we've been living the RV life for more than 4 years now. So we've been here and there. We were in Colorado for a few years. Wonderful place to do outdoor and knife videos. We have 2 children and both have kids, so we have quite a few grandchildren, and right now we're going back and forth between them, Arkansas and South Carolina, and you know, doing a lot of family stuff, and it's just been difficult to get away. As you know, I like to get out in the woods and do real stuff and do real knife testing, and it's just been difficult lately to do that. So right now I'm at my daughter's in South Carolina, kind of in her backyard. There's some woods back here, and I was able to sneak away a little bit because I want to show you a new knife. And concerning the line of knives from BeaverCraft, okay? I'm really growing to like BeaverCraft. As you know, the name of my channel, Common Sense Outdoorsman. I like value type items. There's nothing wrong with the value knife. There's no such thing as, oh, you know, that knife was $20, $30, it's junk, it's garbage steel. Not always true. I've proven that time and time again, and that's the case with BeaverCraft. Knives made in Ukraine, similar to BPS knives. I don't have a BPS knife. I'll get some someday. But very simply made in the Ukraine. They're cranking out a lot of knives. Simple stuff. Simple walnut handles. Here's the 3 I have now. BeaverCraft has sent me these knives one at a time, and now they've sent me the this one is called the Dusk. This is the BSH4. Okay, the other 2 I have are the 3 and the 5, and there's similarities and there's differences. Okay, but they've been kind enough to provide these knives to me so I can make videos on them. I do really much like these knives. Let me take you down a little bit, okay? You don't need to look at my face all the time. But so this is the latest one they sent me. This is the Dusk. This is the BSH4, okay? And I think this is they're all good knives. This is my first favorite. This is either 1 or 2 as far as my favorites. And they've made this to be a little bit more of a bruiser knife. So if you want to get rough with one of their knives, this is the one to do it. And the reason is it's a little heftier and it's thicker stock. Let's look at the first one I had first. And I'm just going to have to throw these knives on the ground. Sorry for the bending over, but okay, this is the 3, BSH3. This is the Nightfall. This is the first one they sent me. And this is a thinner stock. This is actually, when I measured it with my caliber, this one and my shadow knife, the BSH5. And from here on out, I'm going to ditch the numbers and just call them either the Dusk, the Nightfall, or the Shadow. I can remember, the numbers can get confusing. But this is less than 3 millimeters, okay? This is closer to 2.5 millimeters. The Dusk knife is a little heftier. This one, I measured it with my caliper. This is a 3.5 millimeter stock, okay? So you can get a little rougher with that. They're all full tang. The other difference with this one is it has 3 removable fasteners, where the other 2 just have 2, okay? So they tried to beef this up a little bit, okay? Love the handle on this one. It's just enough handle for your hand, okay? And I like the fact that it's got some meat at the forefinger and at the pinky. What I like about that, and it's got a little little swell there towards the middle, but what I like about a knife like that is it locks it in and it prevents, you know, the rocking. Whereas on the Nightfall, okay, where it has a bigger belly there and the handle is longer and bigger, and it kind of, because my hand isn't snug up to the front and the back, it'll rock a little bit more. This is a nice knife. I like it. It's comfortable. It's good. Everything's good about it. Okay, but I just prefer a handle like this better. Okay, and let's. Sorry for the bending again. This is the Shadow, and it's a smaller handle. And again, on this one, my hand can snug into that. Okay, good. Okay, again, thinner stock, less than 3 millimeters, smaller handle, small. This is great for bushcraft stuff. Okay, but let's kind of look at the differences, and I'm just gonna do the best I can with putting these knives in that stump. Why do I like this one so much? Well, number one, the handle. It is beefier. I like the striking pommel on it. You can, they send you that little piece of 550 cord, lanyard cord. I don't usually have lanyard cord on there. I just stuck it on there so I can remember to say, hey, that's what it comes with, okay? But I do like a striking pommel. I do like that there's just enough handle. It snugs right in my hand. That's good. Very little rocking. So here's how thick the handle area, or how wide the handle area is. Okay, I really like that one. This is a good all-around knife. It is a little heavier duty. This is, you know, you can do more batoning with it. You can do heavier stuff with this knife because it's a thicker stock. Okay, love the bluing they do, okay, on the finish. It looks old style. Very simple, very inexpensive. You can get these knives for, depending, sometimes in the 20s, but usually somewhere between 30 and 40. There's special deals on Amazon and things like that. Okay, just look for it. But a lot of these knives you can find them for in the 20s. Wonderful, wonderful knives for that. Okay, let me talk about the steel real quick. 1066 high carbon. To be honest, I knew it existed, but I haven't seen or used knives of 1066 in my mind. You know, 1095 good, 1075 a little less edge holding, and I'm like 1066, it's kind of getting soft. But I don't know what the deal is. They say they heat treat these between like 58 and 60, so they get it up there for a carbon steel like that. They seem to hold their edge okay. It works well. It seems to be a tough steel, and I'm fine with the edge holding. I'm as you guys know, I'm not a knife steel nerd, so and I know how to sharpen a knife, so no problem for me with the steel. I'm kind of liking the 1066 that they're putting out. I recommend their 1066 for the money. It's a good acting steel, okay, in my experience. It's a very good acting steel. This Dusk knife, the grinds on their knives are, I like the way they do it, and you can tell that they are handmade. This grind on this is actually convexed. I like how they did that, and you can see it's a fairly high convex grind, and you can see it hopefully in the reflection. And then it has that relief edge, and it's a strong edge. All these three knives I have a strong edge. Believe it or not, the smallest one, the Shadow, I think has the strongest edge, the toughest edge. Okay, and their grinds and edges are all a little different. The Shadow and the Nightfall are kind of it's kind of Scandi-ish, but this one is actually feels a little hollowish, whereas the Nightfall feels a little convex-ish. And So they're all a little different. I really like what they did, how that's a high convex grind, and then it has that relief edge. They're all strong edges on all these knives. As I use them and sharpen them, I'm going to take the edge down a little bit. I like thinner edges to work with, and that's no problem with 1066 steel and even other steels. But so this one has a swedged clip, kind of a clip point there. The jimping is fine. The jimping is a little sharp, not too bad, but you could, take a brush to it or whatever and smooth it out if you need to. But that jimping certainly works. I could, if it doesn't have jimping, I'm fine with the knife. This one has jimping. I think on this one I may myself smooth that out a little bit. Okay, just I just don't need a lot of jimping like that. But the sharpening choil is on there. It's done good. Okay, so this will be easy to sharpen. It's got a little bit of a recurve in this part of the grind. Okay, this is, to me, is more of an all-around type of grind for all kinds of tasks. This is just a great all-around camp knife, belt knife. Could be for bushcraft. You can. It's got a nice belly for meat work, if that's what you do. Okay, so I think this is a good all-around knife. The sheaths they come with, make sure I get the right one for this one. Okay, they say it's genuine leather. The first one I had on the oh gosh, here I'm gonna get them confused. This one's the Nightfall, right? Yeah. It seemed almost a little less leathery, like it was some kind of a material. Maybe it was just lined to it. The other two are more leathery looking, and it's just a loose, floppy, suede-ish kind of leather. They're fine. For the money you get these for, these sheaths are fine. And this one will hold the knife in. Okay, it's got the little hole in the leather and the peg like the others, and the knife doesn't come out so easily. That's good. You've got the dangler there, which I like. Okay, or you can just use that belt loop if you want a little bit more solid to your hip. Okay, the the sheath for the shadow knife, I'm sorry, the Nightfall knife, again, it just didn't look leathery. These look a little bit more leathery, but they say they're genuine leather. Okay, and so yeah, this sheath, fine, perfectly fine, I think, for the knife. The shadow knife slips out of the sheath even when it's fastened. That's a, yeah, no good on something like that. But this one operates a little bit better. So very happy with the sheath. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about that. So for tougher use on this knife, you can do it. Their grinds are good. Like I said, this is kind of convexed, and when I naturally sharpen myself, it comes to a nice convexed edge. I won't get into all the reasons why I like the convexed edge better. But anyways, let's do put a little use on this, see what happens. All right, let's work this tip a little bit, and the tip is strong on this knife. I have no hesitancy with putting this tip to work if I had to. Guys, this is a demonstration video, kind of a test video. This is not, I'm just testing the tip, okay? I'm just gonna put a little use on it. I can't do that cutting my sandwich or stuff like that. So the only reason I'm doing this is to test the knife, test the tip. I think there can be a tendency for your hand to slip up on this, so I would put your thumb on the pommel like that if you're doing this. I think it's a good safety tip, okay? But I feel like the tip on this knife is not going to break doing something like this, and if I had to drill with it, make a hole, if I was making a fireboard for a bow drill fire, yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to put the tip on this to hard work at all. See if you can get a better view of that tip. It is a strong tip, so no problems with that at all. All right, I'm just gonna put some more wear on the edge. There's no no technical reason or for doing this other than I'm just putting some wear on the edge to test it. I really wouldn't use this knife normally for chopping. It's still kind of small for me, but and I have no doubt that this edge is gonna hold up, as evidenced by their other two knives that I have. A little cutting. And this is a dried out piece. I left this one here about 6 months ago. So this piece of pine is good and dried out, and there's some, yeah, it's got that wonderful smell. So you got some good fat wood in there. Maybe I'll dig some of this fat wood out of here and see if I can save it, and we'll use it with the fire steel. All right, guys, I just got a little bit of fat wood here. I can't really start a fire here. The place will go up like a tinderbox. I got a very small amount of fat wood. I just want to see if demonstrate that you can spark a ferro rod with this. Let's see if this fat wood goes up. And sometimes you fail, you know, it happens. And this isn't about technique, guys. I'm just showing you that this knife will strike. If I hit this wood, it's gonna knock it all over the place. But yeah, as you can see, different areas. Oh, see, it strikes better towards the handle. One big spark landed on there. Okay, it's not gonna go up. Again, this isn't a lesson on fat wood or how to start a fire. I just wanted to demonstrate that this knife sparks pretty good. Okay, so I would have to that little bit of fat wood I have, I'd have to, you know, get a little bit more and smaller pieces to get it going. But as you can see, no problems with getting a spark. All right, guys, here's the portion of the video everyone loves. So if you guys, whoever doesn't like to watch this, this is the time to turn away. I'm going to baton some wood for no other reason, just testing the knife. Okay, so if you don't like to baton wood and you have something against that, by all means don't watch, turn the video off. But I've had that discussion in other videos, but I'm just demonstrating the toughness of the Dusk knife. Okay, and there should be no problem with it. And BeaverCraft says this knife is for harder use. So believe it or not, some knives are designed in a way that it's no problem beating on them a little bit I have other videos on the discussion of batoning, but if you're going to have a knife out in the woods, you just, don't over test it. You don't want to stress the steel. Steel can be stressed and it can crack and fail, so don't go too crazy with testing your knife within reason, but you should know that your knife is tough enough to rely on, and this kind of thing for this knife is no problem at all. Okay, piece of cake, and still very nice to work with. That piece is too floppy. Yeah, I'm making nice feathers, and this doesn't even have the edge I like for feathering, but they do a good job. BeaverCraft does a good job with their bushcraft knives. I think I'm going to try to get some of their stropping equipment next, and I'll do some more knife sharpening and stropping videos. But yeah, this is my favorite, I think, so far of the 3 BeaverCraft knives I have. I just like everything about it. Okay, and without even trying, yep, makes great feathers. Like everything about this knife. What did I do with the other knives? Well, yeah, there's the shadow. Straighten this out a little bit. That's the shadow knife. Great little bushcrafter, I think, there. This is probably my second best knife. I like the Dusk. It would be my favorite, and then the Nightfall would be third for me. But BeaverCraft, guys, doing a great job. I recommend them. They have other types of knives available. Check them out online. They're on Amazon. Go to the BeaverCraft website, whatever. I'm not, although they did send me these knives to test, I'm not making any money from BeaverCraft. Just want to let you know that. Yeah, highly recommended. All right, guys, I know this video is getting too long, so I'm going to end it here. We'll see you next time. Again, I'm in South Carolina. I'm going to be heading back to Arkansas in a few days, and I'll try to get spun up on more videos. Common Sense Outdoorsman. We'll talk to you later.